Hey y'all, welcome to Chats with Chantla. I have missed you all. I was not here last week. I was celebrating some really huge milestones in my life. So I just want you guys to know there is some technical difficulty in my area. We've had some power outages, and I think with them doing some repairs, it is messing with my Wi-Fi. So I apologize if I'm delayed or even if I get kicked out. If I get kicked out, just be patient with me and I'll come right back. So tonight we're just going to have an open discussion, and we're going to have an open discussion about a lot of different things. So if you have any questions that you would like to, have addressed by myself and the viewers, please put it in the comment section. But there is a lot that I would like to discuss in this open discussion because, we've been through a lot in the past 365 plus days. And I think we just need to talk about it. I think talking about it will be great. We'll be able to give our perspective on different things, hear perspectives on other things. So, this is going to be a collaboration of us all, hopefully today. So, I had some questions written down again. I just really want to bring to the forefront and just see how everybody's doing. For me, I've definitely missed last week's chats with Chantla. And then also, we're coming back very strong in April and May in the summer months with some amazing entrepreneurs. So if you have someone that you feel that would benefit from being on this platform, please refer them to me, give them my information, have them connect with me, because what Chats with Chantla is, it's an opportunity to build, connect, and collaborate with entrepreneurs who are doing huge impact. And so we highlight Black entrepreneurs. So let me be specific, because I just feel like sometimes as being a Black or brown person, we just have a lot of platforms that are ours. So this platform definitely is working to bring more awareness to those who are doing some great things. So thank you, Deshawn, for joining. I appreciate your comments. The show is awesome, and also having a great platform, and also sharing that's an excellent way for small businesses to promote themselves. So exactly what Deshawn said. It is exactly, he stated exactly what it is that my mission for Chats with Chantla is. So again, we're having an open discussion about a whole bunch of different things. So don't leave me hanging. Put some questions in the comment. But what I'm going to open up with this first question. My first question is virtual education. I know a lot of parents who have become teachers during the last year, the last 365 plus days. And that is not an easy task. So I call them, my coworker came up with this term called a quarantine teacher. And so a lot of parents have become teachers. And I would love to see in the comments how, if you are that parent or parents who, have become a teacher overnight because of this pandemic, I would love to hear how you're managing. I would love to learn more about how you're learning or relearning how to educate your child, because math is not the same way that I remember when I was younger, how it is today. I used to count my fingers and do all these other things, and there's so much more things that you have to do and show work. So if there's any educators, if there's any parents that are dealing with, virtual reality and things like that, please let me know. And also just keep me aware if I'm coming in and out. Again, I'm having some Wi-Fi issues we had a blackout in my area and they're working on it. So, if I'm lagging, put it in the comments, make me aware, be like, Chantla, you're lagging or you're whatever. Just keep me aware. But are you a quarantine teacher? So are you a parent turned teacher? And if you are, give me some feedback. Tell me how you're feeling about that. What I will say is that a lot of the parents that I talk to because of my job, and also colleagues who are parents that have a child age, a school age child in their home, whether it's, elementary school, middle school, and high school, are like, they're going through it. And they're going through it for so many reasons. It's, they're trying to manage being at work. making time to educate their child, making sure that they're on a schedule, they're getting homework done, and it's not the easiest task. So, how is it with communicating with the teachers? How is it communicating, with your child now that they're at home? Has this been a challenge that has been really difficult for you all? So, let me know. So, Deshaun, I know that it's dragging really bad, but it's coming through slowly. Thank you so much, Nia, for telling me that, because it's really bad. And I apologize again. Please stay with me. It is out of my control. The internet is just it's terrible. Let me see if I can have a second way of getting there and getting on my phone if I have to. So it's lagging a little bit and it's dragging, but if any of you have some feedback in regards to virtual education, please put it in the comment and I can address it. Are you a current teacher? A parent turned teacher? Please share your experiences and we want to hear. So I don't know if you're still on the platform, Deshaun. I know that you are a parent that have school-age children. How are you dealing with everything? How are you dealing with being a teacher, and a parent at the same time, along with being an entrepreneur? So if you can catch up with that, if I'm lagging, but you could hear that question, I would love to see in the comments anything that you do have. And we can always come back to that question as well. This is an open discussion on Chats with Chantla. Again, please stick with me in regards to the lagging of my internet. They were working on some things, so I may be coming in and out, but please stick with me. We'll get through this. Let me see if so Michael, if you can tell me if I'm lagging really bad, let me know. I would greatly appreciate that because I know that I'm jumping in and out. But the other question I have. So maybe that one isn't a lot of interest for you in regards to virtual education. Let's talk about COVID cities opening, closing, and the statuses of that. So I know that where I live at in North Jersey, I moved out of New York City and right before the pandemic, so I live in North Jersey. And thank you, Kaya. Thank you so much. That's my beautiful niece all the way from California. Thank you so much for supporting me. She's beautiful inside and out. I just have to brag on her a moment. And she is an entrepreneur. She has some amazing candles. And her candle company is called Before the Storm. If you don't know, now you know. She will be hopefully collaborating with me on Chats with Chantla as well. And she has hand-poured candles that she does with the wood wick, but I will let her tell more with the collaboration that hopefully we'll be having soon. But if you don't know and you want to know more about Kaya's business, please go to Before the Storm on Instagram and I believe on Facebook and learn so much more about who she is and the amazing work that she's doing. I cannot wait to be able to flood my home with her skills that she has. The fragrances are just amazing. Like I imagine the smell, but she is an amazing young woman and I'm super proud and honored to be called her aunt. So just a little plug in there for my amazing niece, Kaya. So, but are you living in a city that is opening up more or is it closing? So I know that the vaccination is helping with some of that. So if you do live in a city that the status has stayed the same or it's increasing or things are turned back around and you're closing down, I would love to hear things about that. Please don't let me be the only one talking. You don't even have to talk. I can relay your comments into this live stream. And again, thank you so much for hanging in there as my internet lags and catches up and different things like that. So I'm just going to be putting some different topics up here and hopefully somebody will catch on and it'll be something that somebody wants to respond to. So, we talked about virtual education. Now I'm speaking about COVID cities opening and closing and the status of those cities. I know a lot is changing in our country because of the vaccination and getting people vaccinated, people helping with curbing, the the amount of people who are being impacted by COVID. So, just that is something that I feel like a lot of people are talking about as well. The other thing is that I want to talk about is how many of you are returning to work? And the reason why I say it is because there are employers like my employer that will still work from home. I would say, depending on the person, I still work 100% at home. But there are some people that are going in, so it's more hybrid or blended. So they're doing some work at home and some work at the office. But I want to talk more about that. But I love this question. So my beautiful niece again, her question was, we finally just opened indoor gyms, indoor dining, and zoos today in LA County. So she is in California. So LA County has opened up indoor gyms, indoor dining, and zoos. So that happened today. So that was March 15th. And so Kaya, I know that you're not online, with me live streaming, but how do you feel about that? Do you feel comfortable? Like it's something that you're comfortable with opening, or would you go there and participate in the indoor gyms being opened and dining and also zoos, or are you still kind of like, I'll wait a bit longer, or do you feel confident enough to be able to indulge in the status of your county being more open than it was in the previous months? So if you feel like you want to respond to that and give me a little bit more feedback, that would be great. So also, if anyone else is seeing some differences in their locations, in their cities and states, or even their counties, feel free to please just join in and let me know about your status in regards to COVID, the status of COVID opening or closing or staying the same in your area. But jumping back to returning to work, I'm still grateful that I can work from home. And so I'm working from home, and, I'm grateful for that. But a lot of people are returning to work. Oh, Nia said that Atlanta never shut down. I I've heard that it hasn't shut down. And I also heard that it was packed last weekend for the All-Star weekend. I don't know. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that, Nia, about, living in an area where, you feel like it never really shut down and that it was jam-packed even during the pandemic because of an event that so many people are so used to attending or partaking in, and, they just wanted to get back to feeling some form of normalcy. But a lot of times when things are packed in Atlanta, it is not by the residents that live there. It is by the implants or visitors that come there for a moment and invade that space and then leave. But yeah, I'm not sure of how you or Kaya feel about the changes that are happening in your area. So again, we have someone on the West Coast that has a little bit more freedom in their city opening with indoor gym. Oh, thank you again for staying with me. I then took my camera out and then muted myself, and I was still talking. So I hit my camera, and so that wasn't actually technology. That was Chantla's error. But how are you guys feeling about that? And dealing with, cities opening, cities closing, are cities staying the same in regards to the pandemic and how people are operating. Um, Let me just speak about this. The Grammys. I don't know how many people watch the Grammys. I actually did not watch the Grammys, but I woke up to a lot of the news about the Grammys late last night and this morning. And there was a lot of Black Girl Magic that was happening at the Grammys last night, where Beyonce tied for the most Grammys given to a male or female. I think her and Megan Thee Stallion did things, but more importantly than that, I just think that it's pretty awesome that she built a legacy with her daughter. And I'm speaking about Beyonce with Brown Skin Girls that she made. And so her daughter, who's 9 years old, has won a Grammy because of collaborating with her mom. But yeah, I think that was pretty neat. And if anybody else has some information about the Grammys, but I do have a question. Okay, so let me bring this question up. So it's from Michael, and this is my amazing son. And he said, I feel like masks and he probably meant to say more like I feel like masks and to be more careful more careful is more normal now. So people are getting used to it. So I think that that question goes great. And Shane, I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to go, that question kind of goes with, are you used to COVID norms and wearing a mask and social distancing? Excuse me. And so I think what Michael actually was saying, and actually kind of great segue, is that he was speaking about like wearing masks are more is I think more people are becoming comfortable with it, and it's kind of becoming like a normal thing to do, and it's not, as difficult as it was a year ago to do for some. I won't speak for all, and I'll keep it on the eye. I feel like it's not as difficult as it was, or as foreign, I should say, as it was a year ago to start wearing a mask and going places and having your face covered, having difficulty trying to adjust to breathing and, all the other things that come with it. But if anyone who's watching, are you used to the COVID norms, meaning wearing a mask and social distancing? How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like it's something that, you know, uh, that you're comfortable with, that you feel like this could possibly be the way of life for the next few years, or, however, like, how are you adjusting to the COVID norms? I will say the mask really don't bother me anymore. At first, I wouldn't say it bothered me. It just took a lot of adjusting, like my breathing, because I totally thought that I wasn't going to be able to breathe, and I was like, "This is terrible." But I got adjusted to it, and now I don't leave it as often as I did before. But hey, one of my friends back in the day, thank you so much for supporting and watching. I want to put her comment. So, Kirsty, thank you so much for watching. She said, masks are much more normal now, and not only has it helped with the spread of COVID-19, but other illness as well. Thank you so much. I love that. Because a lot of times, and thank you so much, Kirsty, um, is that we think that it's only preventing or helping with COVID-19. It's also helped, like she said, with other illnesses. I think that this is the first year that, and I'm just speaking again on the eye, is that I haven't come around a lot of people talking about colds because one, social distancing, people were staying home, and also wearing a mask when you were outside. So the mask, as Kirsty said, not only helped with protecting you from COVID, but other illnesses as well. So thank you so much for highlighting another positive of the mask. And a lot of times I think, because when you see the mask, it's a trigger to think just about COVID, but other things as well. So I think that was such an amazing insight for us to review as well. And thank you again for supporting and watching. Such an amazing woman. And she's a teacher. And so, Kirsty, as I have you here, if you're still watching, how has virtual education been for you? And I don't mean to call you out, but I know that this is your profession, or was your profession. If you are still a teacher, or may not be, but I believe that you are. How has virtual education been for you, dealing with students and also parents now on a completely different level? So if you would like to share, put some information in the comments. I would love to get your feedback as a professional, and any other teacher who may be watching. So I have a lot of junior high and high school friends that went into education. And what I will say is they are such superheroes, because a lot of what they had to transition and do and change, and how they now are facilitating their curriculums and things like that. It's not in the classroom, it's being online all day long. So it's great. So Kirsty said her county in Maryland has made great strides this year. Thank you so much for sharing that. But I just want to give you and celebrate you and any other teacher who is on Chats with Chantla tonight. I just want to applaud you, and I want to thank you. And I just really want people to understand how essential our teachers are. And not that we didn't believe that before, but I think this year really proved to us how essential they are in regards to not just the education of our children, but helping us, the patients, and reteaching parents, how to do certain things. And I appreciate all that you do. I acknowledge you and I acknowledge your importance. And I just hope that somebody revisits the amount of compensation that you all should get, because you guys are doing such a tremendous job to make sure that our kids get all that they need to be successful in life through their education. So again, kudos to all the teachers and educators that are supporting and watching Chats with Chantla. Much love to you. And as always, I will use my mouth that you are very familiar with, screaming at so many different times at games that we cheered together with. I'm definitely going to use it to shed light to the amazing work that you do as an educator. Also, absolutely, Kirsty, you took the words right out of my mouth. I just wanted to give the kudos to our students as well, that our students are so resilient and have built their skills in this year that will help them in the future. That's exactly right. Thank you so much, Kirsty, for just shouting them out, because I think a lot of times that we're so engulfed in the pandemic and how it's impacting us as adults that sometimes, and not intentionally, but we may forget that we have young humans. We have these little humans, as the tender ages of 5 years old, and their first experience to education is COVID, and they're excited. They have their book bags ready and everything like that. And they just didn't get to experience it the way that we did in the past, and so, not have also not being in the classroom and stuff. Also, I think people forget, like, one reason why I love school is I got to see my friends. So the social aspect of education in schooling, I should say, it was really important to me, like walking through the halls, getting those 3 minutes to get to class, but seeing your friend through the hallway and just shouting, hey, I'll see you later, I'll see you at lunch, or I'll see you in class, hold the door type of thing. So just all those memories that are built during school when you're physically there. So yes, I think resiliency, perseverance, and all these different things are going to come in, not just for the skills in their education for the future, but also and their personal development and their life and their character and all these different things. So they're also extraordinary people, just because they're little people who are young people, I should say, that are going to school. We have to acknowledge that they're going through different things as well. So thank you so much, Kirsty, for that amazing reminder about how we need to acknowledge our students. Like, we need to celebrate and praise them as well for all the work that they're doing, trying to stay, abroad, staying afloat, staying, positive during a very challenging time that, so it's not the easiest thing. But again, thank you, Kirsty, for all your work. Thank you for just supporting, the parents, and supporting anybody that's probably not a parent of a student, that you would probably get questions asked. So a lot of educators who are watching, you have just done tremendous work, and we acknowledge you. The other thing I want to talk about, and again, I'm just jumping everywhere. Yes, my son said that, yes, high school was fun and some of the best times of his life. So absolutely, absolutely. So some of mine as well. So thank you for sharing that. But I also want to talk about weather. And I don't know if this is a trending topic for you, but it's a topic for me. One of the first things I do when I wake up is I check the weather. And I don't just check the weather to see how to dress appropriately, but I also check the weather because I am yearning for sunlight. I cannot wait till the sun is out a little bit more. But also I'm checking the weather because there has just been some crazy weather happening throughout our country in different areas, and just seeing how, it's impacting different places and the residents of those places, and just how people are dealing with it. Like, 2 days ago, we had 70-degree weather, and today the high is 32. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know to put the winter jacket away, get the spring jacket. I don't know if, to keep sweaters out and turtlenecks, or to get like button ups and short sleeve shirts. Like, so I'll just say what my grandmother used to say. My grandmother used to say, dress for the season and not the weather, meaning that if it said it's wintertime, still dress like it's wintertime, regardless if it's 70-degree weather out there or not. So, You lost sound. Can you hear me now? Michael, can you hear me? So I'm asking my son if he could hear me, so he's gonna let me know. I apologize that you lost sound, Kirsty. So okay, he said it's good. And Kirsty, I had a lot of great memories with you as well. So thank you again for being a part of them and tolerating me and my excitement and whatever else I may have done. But you have been and have always been a great friend to me. So I appreciate that as well. Um, so let's keep it going. Another question I want to have, and I'm not going to put it up on the screen because I didn't get time to actually write it out. But I want to ask, what what new have you learned about yourself during this pandemic, during this time, during the last 365 plus days? What have you learned? Great, Kirsty. Thank you so much. I'm glad you got it back. So my question right now is, what new have you learned about yourself? Because if you have anything in the comment that you want to share, what I've learned new about myself is that I'm much more resilient than I thought that I was. And not just, just dealing with the pandemic, but just like dealing with a whole bunch of changes like instantly and uncertainties and all these things and just trying to manage. And so that takes a lot of resiliency to be able to do that. And also, just like I can be very innovative and my creativity and innovation, I really appreciate that. Chats with Chantla was birthed out of this pandemic. So if we weren't in this pandemic, I would just be going to work just normal like everyone else, who's working their 9 to 5 and catching the train and jumping off the train to catch another train to get to work and doing the same thing, getting home and not really appreciating and living life. I would have done a lot more just existing. And what I will say, I'm very intentional about living. And what I mean by that is placing myself first, taking care of myself, whether that looks like, just me time, just sitting away from everyone and just absorbing my own thoughts, whether that's therapy, reading a book, having a glass of wine, whatever. Yeah, Michael, I agree that we learned to have a lot more patience. And Michael said that he has a lot more patience than he thought with himself and other people. I think that our patience have been tried during this time. But I think it's tried in a way that it adds to us and not subtracting. And also, I think like during this time, something new that a lot of people may have also discovered is your circle may have got smaller and may have gotten smaller intentionally because you saw that there were a lot more people subtracting from you than adding to you. And then not only that, sometimes the greatest thing you can do for yourself is not adding to your life, but subtracting. And it doesn't always have to be people. Subtraction doesn't have to be a bad thing. Subtraction can take a lot of distractions and unnecessary obligations away from you that you can then look inward instead of looking outward so much for peace and happiness. Like nobody is responsible for your happiness but you. So I think that intentionality is something great. Oh, and Kirsty said intentional. That's a great word for how I make decisions now. Absolutely. I have been known, I always say, and thank you, Kirsty, for that. I will admit, and I'll raise my hand and be totally honest that I am a recovering people pleaser, meaning that I would put so many people before myself. And I just think that it was just something that I picked up at a very young age, maybe for who knows for what reasons, maybe for acceptance and other things. But it's not the easiest thing to tell people no. But what I recognize is being intentional to put myself first and being intentional, like Kirsty said, about making decisions and how they impact me and how they make me feel. I've been very intentional about that because if not, I'm very indecisive. I should say I was very indecisive when I was a people pleaser. And a lot of times it made me very unhappy, but I would put a smile on my face. But internally I was hurting. And so I just want, people to acknowledge that being intentional is one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself. It's one of the greatest things that you can do in regards to self-care. I want to also speak about, like, for a lot of Black and Brown communities, the culture sometimes is that you don't speak about what you're going through outside of your home. Please, that is a thing of the past. I love and appreciate therapy. I just really appreciate being able to speak to somebody outside of my circle, or even outside of my experience, outside of my family, because this person is coming from a neutral playing field and like a neutral ground, and helps ground me, and helps bring clarity when I need it. And I just want to encourage everyone that, therapy does not have to be looked at as a negative thing. And it does, it's for me, and I'll keep it on the eye. And I learned that through therapy, keeping it on the eye, is that it's a beautiful thing and it's such a helpful thing. And I will say my growth, and one of my friends, and a colleague that is now one of my closest friends, such an amazing woman, such an influence in my life. I'm so grateful for her. And that's Tamara. And so she said, speak on it. And I think she may have been speaking about something else I was talking about, but she has been such a great influence of so many things in my life. And I'm so grateful for her. And Tamara has taught me the beauty in self-care, having a voice, therapy, being innovative and creative. So she is a force to reckon with for so many positive reasons. So thank you, Tamara, for always supporting and being there for me. And Kirsty, you are an amazing friend as well. It just makes my heart smile to know that you're here and you're engaging with tonight's episode of Chats with Chantla. I really appreciate you, because all of you could all be doing a whole bunch of other things on a Monday evening, dinner, preparing for tomorrow, everything like that. But to take some time out and to join me is also amazing. And Shane, thank you so much for joining. I love that you said definitely recognizing my circle more clearly. I'm with you on that one. Like, Shane, I totally love you and I just appreciate you. And again, Shane is family. So I appreciate you, Shane, for joining in. But yeah, definitely looking at your circle and seeing who needs to be there and who doesn't need to be there. And not in a bad way. Like, getting cut off doesn't mean that you're a mean person. It means that you just really saw the value of the relationships that you had. And is that helping you or harming you? And we really have to look at the harm that we are doing to ourselves, doing to others, just by the connections that you make. Just because somebody started at the starting line with you doesn't mean it's going to be the same person that walks past the finish line. And Tamara, you're absolutely right. Finding a Black therapist is one of the best things that she ever did. And thank you so much for helping me find one and getting that support as well. I think that, I've been increased in two ways, like being able to have a listening ear in a professional, and also having someone who looks like me gives me a different level of confidence and comfort. And so nothing against our non-Black therapists, but as a Black woman, it just feels really great to be able to talk to another person of color, because there may be a lot of similarities. And not always, but there could be. But when I say about the confidence and comfort level of how I speak, it does help with that. So thank you, Tamara, for actually just also bringing that up. And I love you too. I love what you give, and I love what you've given to me also, and the gift of our friendship. Don't make me tear up, Tamara. But I think that you're an amazing woman, and also a much more amazing friend. So also, I want to also ask you all, how has the quarantine, even though we're getting out a little bit more because more of us may be a little bit more comfortable with the norms of COVID, but how has the quarantine helped you? Like, what has it done to help maybe with your personal development, maybe with you just getting to know yourself better and addressing some of the needs? So again, if you have anything about that, how has the quarantine helped you? What I will say in regards to how the quarantine has helped me, and I will say that it's helped me communicate better. And why I'll say that is that being with the same person day in and day out and not being able to like go and away from them because many people weren't opening their doors and they still aren't because we're in a pandemic. So you don't know where that person's been. So people are a lot, concerned and as they should for health reasons and the health of themselves and their loved ones. But it's helped me in communication because I needed to learn how to communicate more with my husband, with my loved ones, close family and friends and everything like that. And it's taught me how to communicate a lot a lot more with the clarity of what it is that I'm trying to convey, and being very transparent. There are a lot of times, and I probably aren't the only one, that I would speak from emotion first. And sometimes emotions don't allow you to speak rationally. It like you have to dig down deeper to get to the root of what it is that person's trying to communicate. So learning to communicate with more clarity, understanding myself has helped that, understanding my triggers, and then also therapy and reading some books about communication has also helped. So that's great. And Kirsty said how the quarantine has helped. It's allowed her to spend so much more time with her son and the window into his education than I would normally have seen. And at an age when tween boys start to grow more distant, we've grown even closer. Oh my gosh, you guys are really going to make me tear up. I already gave tears today during work, but I love that. I love that what she said because her son is a tween at the age of, preteen. And yeah, if it wasn't for this time during the quarantine, we probably would be missing a lot of things with our family and loved ones because you're going with your schedule. You're going with the busyness of the routine that you normally would have. So thank you for sharing that, Kirsty. And I think that was a great thing to say, and also a way to remind other people that to slow, not only what COVID has done in the quarantine, it has not only set you down, but it slowed you down. And it slowed us down enough to recognize all the memories that we were flying past that were like a blur, that we really couldn't describe with memory because we were moving at such a fast pace that we didn't get to enjoy it. And I think like the quarantine time has allowed us, and again, I'll say for me, has allowed me to be present in the moment, to enjoy it, to be there, to experience it. I'll also say that it's given me the opportunity to learn a lot more recipes for food. Some a lot more healthy recipes. I've realized that I love vegetables much more than I did before. Being quarantined, I think that, one of the biggest things for me was at the beginning of the pandemic. Thank you, Michael, for sharing with me that I'm lagging a little bit. So I am lagging a little bit. So just be patient with me as hopefully everything catches up. And again, my internet, I think they're working on it. And so it's causing it to lag a little bit. But for all of you who are still staying with me, I appreciate your patience. It is greatly appreciated, your time and your patience. But one of the things I think that caused me to enjoy vegetables more is because going to the grocery store, like that was the only thing that was like left at the beginning of the pandemic. So I had to learn how to use mushrooms a lot more creatively. And I learned that I love the taste of them and they give me the reminder of meat. And then I don't eat meat as much anymore anyways, but it's just a lot of different recipes that involve a lot more vegetables that I appreciate, cabbage and Brussels sprouts and asparagus and all those things that people would say yuck to, or I said yuck to when I was younger. I really appreciate them. And then also the the essential vitamins and minerals that came from them that I may have been ignoring previously before COVID. So fruits and vegetables have become my best friends. So my next question is, do you think that things will return to how they were? And let me add to that, do you want them to return to the way that they were? I will say again, for me, is I don't want things to return to the way that they were. And the reason why I say this is because returning to the way that they were wasn't a very safe place for people that look like me. And there was a lot more police brutality. There was a lot more racial injustices that were happening. We wouldn't be working as forward and progressive as we are for racial equity and equality. So no, for me, I don't want things to return to the way that they were. I want things to continue to get better. I know that things don't happen overnight, but I know change sometimes happens in the smallest steps. But I think that progressively that we are moving where we hopefully will see equity and equality for all in this country. And just some of the ways that our education system, our law enforcement, the way jobs and different things are going to help everybody. So no, I don't want things to return that the way they were. And I just mentioned some of the reasons why. And if you have any reasons why you may want them to return and may not want them to return. So I thank you. Oh, Christy, thank you so much. You're just doing so much for me tonight. And you're being such an amazing and true friend. And thank you so much for those great words and those kind words, that these are courageous conversations. But thank you again. And I can be courageous. And the reason why I say I can be courageous because it's people like Kirsty and other people that support Chats with Chantla and other people that I got to meet at very young, tender ages that are still with me, still supporting me and encouraging me. So what I will say is I'm a reflection of a lot of the amazing people that I've had in my life. So if you are proud of me at this moment, also clap for yourself because I took a little bit from everybody that I've met. Even in some people, not so good people, there's always something that you can learn. And I've been able to apply it to the woman I am today. So if you like the woman I am today and you have met me, I will say that you've had a hand or a drop in who I am today. So thank you, Kirsty, for those kind words. Also, I want to talk really quickly, and then I will probably most likely let you guys get back to your enjoying your Monday evening. I want to talk about movies. I am a huge movie fan. And I don't know what type of movies everyone has been watching, but I would love to hear some of the things. The most recent movie I watched was Coming to America too. A lot of people, there was some, reviews that kind of were very mixed. And, so I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Am I going to like it? And for me, and just looking at it for the movie that it is and not comparing it to Coming to America, it was great. I just thought it was very nostalgic for me. There was laughter. I think Eddie Murphy is amazing as an actor and a comedian and how he merges them. So I thought it was amazing. I think Wesley Snipes' role, I was shocked that he could do comedy, even though I know I've seen him in comedy before. So I know that he hasn't because he's an amazing actor. But I just thought it was really good. Another movie that I saw, and thank goodness for Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. But my favorite right now is Hulu. I love Hulu because there's a lot of nostalgic shows that are on there, and I'm an old school movie TV fan. So I just aging myself. I've been watching Blossom. I have been watching Blossom, and I am way past 40. And I enjoy watching Blossom. And it's so funny because I've been watching that since yesterday. I just did. So I've been watching Blossom. And just a little fun fact about Blossom, the person, I forgot her real name, so I apologize. But she's a neurosurgeon. She's not just an actor, or an actress, I should say. She is a neurosurgeon. I think that's freaking amazing that she's balancing both of them. So go ahead and find out the fun fact about her. But the movie that I watched before Coming to America, I watched You will always be 10 days younger than me. Yeah, thank you for that. That's funny. But I forgot about that. Yeah. So our other friend is we're older than her. So she's not on Facebook, but Carrie, you will always be the youngest of the group. So thank you, Kirsty. Thank you for remembering that and shouting that out. But we again we don't look like it. I'll say we don't look our age. I'll say that for the both of us. But the other movie I watched before that was The United States versus Billie Holiday. I thought that that was an incredible story. I learned a lot more about Billie Holiday than what I read in the media, I guess. So it was a great story for me. So if you haven't watched it, I think that's another movie that you might want to watch. So what other movies have you guys been watching? So I've been watching a lot on Amazon Prime and Hulu. So I've been really doing that. I haven't watched a lot on Netflix, so but it's been Hulu and uh, Amazon Prime, as I stated. But the other thing is not a movie that I watched, and it comes on tomorrow, and it's called Soul of a Nation. And so though it's playing for the month of March. And so it comes on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. I think it's on ABC, but it's great. It's sharing the Black experience for everyone. It's just experiences on the Black experience, but it's something for everyone to learn about, to hear about, and to learn more about. But I just thought that was great. So if you're looking for something to watch, that's good. And the other thing that I thought was pretty good, I don't know, it may not be a taste for everyone else, but it was a series that I watched. I think it may have been Amazon Prime, and it's called Tell Me Your Secrets. And I like that. I really did. So those are some of the things that I've been doing and I've been thinking about. And, I just wanted to shout out, and I want to shout out Ty Noel is her Facebook name, and she educated me on something. And yes, Tamara, thank you for the reminder. She educated me on something the other day with her Facebook post. And I just want to encourage little Black and brown girls who are thinking that they don't have a place or it can't be them. I just want you to know that right now in America, the most educated group are Black women. So I hope that inspires you to keep doing and great in school and getting those A's and paying attention to teachers like Kirsty during birth education, which is very challenging. But you want to keep that going and you want to do your very best, regardless of who you are. I'm not talking about race here, but I'm definitely going to celebrate those who are doing big things. And I want to acknowledge the Black women in America and all the changes and things that we're doing. So I'm celebrating you tonight on that statement of being the most educated group right now as of June 20th. So I believe that is still the truth as of right now, but everything can change. So let's continue to celebrate those who are making changes and strides. Kirsty and Tamara are giving me straight vibes, and I forgot. Now, for some, I will first let me address Tamara, you are right. Judas and the Black Messiah was the bomb. So if you want to know what happened in that movie, please, activist Fred Hampton, make sure that, and please forgive me if I said that incorrectly to his name, because that's so uneducated of me if I did. But that's an amazing movie, very alarming. But it's another page in history that you definitely want to see and learn more about. I did not see the photograph with Issa Rae. I didn't see that. So that's one that I'm putting on my checklist to watch. Queens, I have not watched either, if that's a movie, Michael, or if you were just calling us Queens, but thank you. I think that you were just calling the most educated group Queens, but thank you. I'll put that crown on. Thank you for that. But I don't know about the rest of you, but Kirsty, I am with you. Bridgerton. Yes, hunty. That series on Netflix was fire. And you see, Kirsty, fire. I could not wait because Miss Whistleton or whatever her name is, you have to watch it. If you have not watched it, please watch it. I would not suggest that you watch it with a young person because there are some very graphic scenes in there in regards to uh, adult topics and scenes. So don't watch it with a young person. It is not PG rated, but it is amazing. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I watched it, binged watched it because everyone was talking about it, and then I watched it all, and then other people were talking about it. I loved it. And another one that I really enjoyed before that. Sorry, Kirsty, she was like, but definitely, but it's so good. So you want to check that out. You want to check all these out. Let me put them back on the screen so you guys can check it out. Make sure you see it. The other one, I think, what was I going to say? If you haven't seen it, and it's a little series, and it was on Hulu, I believe, and I loved it because it was Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington, and I thought it was really great, and it's Little Fires Everywhere. I never read the book, so some people said it was good, some people said it wasn't, but I thought it was a great series to watch as well. So that was another one. So I love movies, and not being able to get to movies, I'm so grateful for Amazon Prime and Netflix being able to stream those so that we can enjoy movie time. And then Kirsty said there's another one called Anything by Sean. I think I started that and stopped. So I'll have to revisit that as well. So I think that was another great one as well. And the other one that I watched that I got like mixed feelings from some people, but my great friend and sis, as I call her, Tamara, she loved it. And I think because she's so linguistic and she's a writer, and she loved Malcolm and Marie. And I loved it too, with Zendaya and John David or David John Washington. I think I always mix the way his first name, because I'm like, he has two first names, but he's Denzel Washington's son. And they played in Malcolm and Marie. So I think that was also a great one. A lot of people can't see Zendaya past Disney, but okay, guys, give her a break. She, not just guys, but I mean, when I'm saying guys, men and women, give her a break. She is a young woman. She's 25 years old and she is growing up. So we have to see her past the Disney Channel and see her for the mature woman that she is. And she did a great job in Euphoria, the series. So Zaya, you are doing your thing. And I appreciate all that you do when you bring to the screen. So I just want, Tamara is giving it all love. Michael loves Zendaya, and so, but Lovecraft Country was another one that was amazing, and I learned a lot. And if you watch it, there's always a history lesson within it. At first, I was like, "This is way too sci-fi for me," but then I started to see past a lot of the things, and it was really great when all the history that I've learned through Lovecraft Country. So it's a great series as well. So I just want to say to you all, thank you again for supporting Chats with Chantla. Next week, we will come back with an entrepreneur, and we have such a great lineup for April and March and the summer months. But what I want you all who are watching and have supported me today and continue to support me is that you all and we all are in this together. You are not alone. And if you feel like you are and you don't have someone to reach out to, hit me with a DM. I don't have to know you to love you. I want the best for you, and I don't have to know you to want the best for you. I don't have to know you personally to want the best for you. If you're a human being and you're breathing, I encourage you to be your best. If you need someone cheering for you a little bit, definitely hit me up, and I'm going to do that for you. But we all have learned more about being a community, building relationships during this 365 plus days of being in this pandemic. This pandemic is, I will say, has shown a lot of, not just the pandemic, but the last year has shown a lot of the worst behavior. But what I will say that it has shown us is how to rebuild from some of the worst behavior and how to make it better, not only to exist, but to live, to take the chance, take the leap. Some of the best things that will ever happen to you are on the other side of fear. And Don't allow fear to keep you in some form of bondage and keep you pigeonholed to something that's not for you. What I will ask you to do is, I always say, leave the past in the past and just glance back at it to help you, remind you of why you keep moving forward. But if you gained anything that makes you better through the past year, through everything that's happened, and through the losses and the gains, pick that up and you carry that to the future, because that helps you. That carry that with you tomorrow. If you learn to have a softer heart, more compassionate words, spreading more love, being just random acts of kindness, holding the door for somebody, helping somebody, giving someone $1 or something to eat or drink without worrying about what they're going to do with it. If your heart has been open and you increase in the plus, and you're going higher and you're being uplifted through your own actions and the influences of others, take that with you. I need more kindness. I need more love. I need more understanding and empathy, for 2021 and beyond. And also, continue to be great. Continue to see the value in yourself, your excellence, your creativity, your innovation, all that is needed. If you woke up today, the whole world needs you, not just the people that are in your four walls. So be thankful that you woke up above ground and not below ground. And I just really appreciate everyone that continues to support this little dream of mine, which is Chats with Chantla, where I get the opportunity to highlight entrepreneurs doing some great impact, highlighting Black entrepreneurs doing some great impact. And they can bring, this platform brings more awareness to what they do. So you can support. It's all about building, connecting, and collaborating. We all can be our own version of a Lego. And I call myself a Lego because a Lego connects and builds, and it collaborates, and it brings all these beautiful things together that makes a beautiful collaboration. So as always, it is such an amazing honor to be with you, whether it's in the living room, kitchen, in your car, or wherever it would be, on Mondays at 7 p.m. So thank you again for watching, and stay tuned next week where we highlight a featured entrepreneur on Chats with Chantla. Have an amazing Monday evening and an awesome rest of the week. Thanks for watching.